Hey everyone, Charting Man Dan of the Chart Guys checking in on the markets. We're going to go over the charts. I'm going to talk a little bit about flow state because I had a very clear period of flow state over the last 3 trading days, and today hit a brick wall and lost it, and it was clear to me why I lost it, so we'll reflect upon that at the end. But first, the S&P 500 with some bounce follow through. The CPI reaction came in line with expectations, and the bulls responded to that. So daily bounce underway, but we're not going to lose sight of the fact that we are still in a daily downtrend. If we look at SPY, we can see 401.48 is a resistance level, still a couple percent away. We still got daily EMA 12 resistance to deal with, and we do currently have an hourly uptrend, and we're watching for signs of the hourly uptrend to be lost if a daily lower high is going to be set. Fundamentally speaking, unless we get any other new bank news, we're going to be looking towards the FOMC on Wednesday, and a lot of people looking for a pause. A lot of people looking for 25 basis points. Nobody really looking for 50 basis points at this point. And we'll see what we get. And we'll see what the language is in terms of looking forward. And I expect a bullish response if we get any indication that we're going to see a pause. And if the Fed says, nah, inflation's still high, we're going to keep going here, I would expect a bearish reaction. But a lot of trading time before that. We've got, what, 5 and a half trading days until that happens. So I'm not even going to think about it until a week from today. So we had bulls control all morning with a grind up, slow grind, and then we rolled over significantly and then some V-shape action at the end. But we'll talk about that a bit later. NASDAQ daily bounce, more convincing. Again, watching this 12-hour falling wedge. Was it yesterday that I drew this? I think so. And we are, it was actually a channel. Now I had it like this. Either way, we're breaking above that level. So it didn't really come into play too significantly. So as far as the daily is concerned, QQQ, resistance is 398 cents, but it's a notable bounce where even if we do reject here, we'll be watching for the potential of a daily higher low to try and form. The big question for me the next couple of days, is the financial sector a daily bear flag? Because that's still on the table as a possibility. We still see the big tech names getting the favor today. Apple, not much follow through from yesterday, but green. Microsoft, green follow through, breaking to the highest level in 3 weeks. Amazon, a little bit of follow through as well, again, still green. So money, we saw money today go into Bitcoin again. Bitcoin shot up and has since hit a climax top, but looks like tech and Bitcoin were some of the bigger beneficiaries of further money movement today. And for me to go back to a bull lean in my portfolio, as I mentioned, I had a bear lean last Thursday. I went flat yesterday, and I'll go back to a bull lean when we shape up a daily trend change. Even if we go, 3 more days of green, I'll be looking for the daily higher low and higher high to be establishing a game plan around. But in the end, I'll probably go flat into the FOMC as well. And then once we get out of the way of all this fundamental action, then I'll look to shift more definitively with a bull or bear lean. Financial sector, so again, it is a potential daily bear flag. We gapped up. And this was one of my mistakes of not having flow state, was looking for the gap up for profit taking on these names. And it's almost like, I'm not sure why I missed this one. And it's not that I missed it, it's just it wasn't a main focus for me, and it should have been in hindsight. And I think it has to do with normally the plays I'm comfortable with looking for gap ups being for shorting and for profit taking is not coming from such an extreme oversold bounce, or I should say an extreme oversold drop. So that's probably why I was not looking bearish first thing on the open, but the bears controlled the open significantly in the financial sector and just full-on profit taking from the gap up open. So in the end, if we confirm an hourly downtrend tomorrow with XLF failing the high of today and breaking 31.87, that's a daily bear flag shaping up. And just looking at the regional banks here, same thing. Gap up open and all profit taking. And it did cool off a lot of RSI levels on the shorter term time frames. The daily is still crushed, but again, same thing. We're going to look for an hourly lower high compared to 49.42 on this move. And if the bears confirm an hourly downtrend, we're going to be looking right back at those fear lows. And if we hit new fear lows in the financial sector, it's going to shake confidence in the market as a whole, in my opinion. I'm not calling for a collapse or anything, but I just mean, market bulls will be timid if we hit fresh lows in the financial sector, whereas if the bottom's set and we break the highs of today in the financial sector, that's going to be a wave of confidence for market bulls, saying, all right, we don't got to worry about that for now, but because we gapped up and saw profit taking all day, market bulls do have to be keeping an eye on this sector for the next couple of days to see if we hit fresh fear lows or not. We've talked about, fear lows and the importance of that psychologically a good bit with the weakness we've seen over the last year and applying that on a shorter term time frame to the financial sector. NVDA back to testing the highs. 244.54, was watching for the potential of a head and shoulders to try and shape up, but I was looking bearish on NVDA, had a couple nice day trades on that pullback there, but it's holding the relative strength. There's also the narrative of crypto potentially helping. Bitcoin hitting the highest level in 9 months today and going up 30% plus in the last few days. And so whenever crypto is bullish, there's the potential that these chip producers are benefiting as well. But the relative strength continues. I keep talking about this daily uptrend. You got to lose EMA 12. You got to lose the daily uptrend, and we're just not doing it. So until that happens, I shift my focus and I don't look bearish on NVDA. When we start seeing the relative weakness, then I'm going to start looking bearish, but we're not seeing it at this point. We need to see a bull break with no follow through to start shaping up a potential rising wedge. Keeping in mind, remember, Tesla divided by QQQ was a 12-hour rising wedge at the top. So nice to have these little examples to remind us, oh yeah, that's how that played out. And it was the same thing, relative strength, and oh, are we going to roll over? Nope, we're holding EMA 12, another higher high, and then that was it. So we'll see how it plays out. We'll certainly be tracking this into next week. Tesla has a nice bounce here. Oversold bounce, daily stair step, bull break, and hourly uptrend, hourly higher lows set at the end of the day, down at 179.95. That 180 level coming into play a lot, both as support and as resistance, and now back as support. So we are going to be looking for a daily lower high on Tesla, anything under 200, and we do have the EMAs in play tomorrow, but this is an example where I often say, you don't want to just be bullish or bearish the market. It's just too simplistic. You can be bullish different sectors, bearish other sectors, and so it also depends on time frames. Am I bullish the monthly and bearish the daily? That's perfectly logical. So here we have Tesla, where I'm bearish on the daily in the sense that I'm looking for a daily lower high, but I'm bullish on the weekly in the sense that I'm looking for a weekly higher low. So how do I reconcile those two things? It's going to be watching for this daily trend change setup, where next daily consolidation for Tesla, I'm going to be watching very closely as a bull for a daily higher low to try and form, knowing that we need to confirm the daily uptrend for the weekly higher low to be set. So nice bounce, nice stair step bull break. Is this our weekly higher low? We should know within the next week of trading or so. We're going to take it one day at a time and watch very closely to see if the bulls are able to shape that up. XLV, daily inside bar, daily EMA 12 remains resistance. Anything under 129.70 is just a lower high, so we're not changing this daily trend anytime soon. Bulls have to see follow through. They've got to see the trend change, so nothing going on in the financials or the healthcare sector for me. IWM, very similar to the financial sector. Gap up open into profit taking. Still an hourly uptrend at this point. It's all about tomorrow. Do we confirm the hourly downtrend with a lower high and lower low and set that daily lower high? So I already know heading into tomorrow, I'm watching KRE and XLF and IWM, but I don't really trade IWM, but I'm watching them for hourly lower highs versus the highs of today. And so that's going to be a top watch for me to see if we can get that bear entry on that lower high. The financial sector gave us a nice 15-minute lower high today. 2-minute rising wedge. Again, we have confidence. We have higher confidence in patterns that are aligned with the longer-term time frame most likely scenario. So anything under the high of the day was a 15-minute lower high. We knew that was the most likely scenario on XLF. We rolled over and broke. It took a while. We putted around sideways, but that was at least enough to make a bear entry on a 15-minute lower high, and then maybe sell partial and stick your stop over the high of the bounce. And then we ended up rolling over significantly from there. Riot. So the crypto name's having a lot of volatility. You can see Riot in the last 3 days has bounced 40%. Big upper wick. Same thing. Do we confirm an hourly downtrend tomorrow into daily consolidation? Because Bitcoin has certainly given us a temporary climax here. And we just saw 15-minute oversold conditions not mark a 4-hour high or low. But we are now testing EMA 12 on the 4-hour. Anyways, the point is, keep an eye on this uptrending resistance line for Bitcoin, and this is relevant for trading these crypto names. But this was a megaphone on Bitcoin that is still potentially in play. And so if Bitcoin overnight were to set a 4-hour high or low and fail the high and then confirm a 4-hour downtrend to then shape up 12-hour consolidation, ideally that would align with tomorrow trading hours and these crypto names looking for daily consolidation as well. So I've got a bear lean tomorrow. Keeping an eye on these crypto names and keeping an eye on the financial sector. But it does depend on, what does the broader market look like heading into the open, and what do these names look like heading into the open. But I already know that these are a couple things I'm going to be keeping an eye on tomorrow. Natural gas must confirm a 12-hour uptrend from here. So here's the low, the high of the bounce, and we have to form a support level and break 266 here. And it is a potential inverse head and shoulders, but bulls need to set the low right now. They need to confirm an hourly uptrend for the 12-hour high or low to be set. And you look at this left shoulder, and this is the head, and this is the right shoulder, and we do have a lot of resistance in this zone here at these necklines, potential necklines, this double top back here, and now this lower high. So here's our resistance zone. Step 1, hourly uptrend. Step 2, break those resistances to keep this daily bounce going, because if we fade back down towards the recent low of 238, definitely a red flag. We have to keep in mind, natural gas has not confirmed a daily uptrend at any point. We had a big bounce, a 50% bounce or so, but no daily trend change. That still has to happen if we're going to believe that this is a longer term bottom. The dollar's still weak, daily inside bar, nothing going on there. Going to look for a daily lower high to be the result of the next bounce. And the metals, 4-hour consolidation, inside bars as well. EMA 12 support test, nothing going on, just healthy consolidation. Silver did get a higher high there. And again, silver is starting to outperform. XAU, XAG continues with that weakness that we talked about yesterday. So 4-hour uptrends are our guides on the metals. 4-hour higher low trying to form on Bitcoin. And we'll see if that remains the case. And oil, bear break to the lowest level. Oil just hit the lowest level that we've seen all year, essentially. Maybe, wait, is that 2 years? Pretty much. A year, 1 year. Not this year, not year to date, 12 months. So that is notable. We are in a downtrend on a lot of time frames. I was surprised at how well the energy sector held up today. Same kind of bounce with, we're going to be looking for a lower high on the energy sector, but very curious to see where oil is headed from here. Maybe towards weekly oversold conditions. Looking at the longer term, we got the monthly. We're still going to look for a 4-month high or low. But at this point, we have significantly retraced. Almost a 50% retracement at this point. So the oil bears have control of a lot of time frames, and the energy sector is going to be looking for a daily lower high as a result of this bounce eventually as well. So flow state, last few days, just really when things get easy. Trading is not easy. It took many years and thousands of hours to get to a point where you can hit flow state where trading becomes easy. And it was just, for me, it's a lot of scalp trading, and it was, Thursday was a week maker, and Friday was a 3-day maker, and Monday was a week maker, and just really firing on all cylinders. And I'm recognizing in hindsight, I was trading the morning. a couple of those days I wasn't live streaming on Thursday, Friday. So I was trading right at the open and through the morning. And then yesterday I was live streaming and I took a trade that went well, maybe 2 trades. And that started me off on a good note for the trading day. And then after I was done live streaming, I get a bit more active because I can really focus in. And today, I didn't like the open setup. The higher open on the CPI reaction, I know I'm looking for hourly consolidation eventually, but as soon as I saw the grind up, this slow grind up, I don't want to fight that because I know that the bulls can keep that going for a good part of the day. And really what it is, all right, I don't see any trades that I like. I tried a riot short during the live stream and it was just a bit too early. Forget exactly what the trade setup was, but I think that move right there knocked me out. I would have stopped out certainly anyways, but just a little small loss there to start things off. That's the other thing. That was, the first day I've started with a red trade instead of a green trade out of the last 4. But also I got bored, essentially. Not bored, but just, rather than being in the zone and hyper-focused and looking at all the setups and ready to go, it was more like, okay, well, I don't see anything I like right now, so I'm going to patiently wait. And then an hour goes by, and all right, I'm still waiting. We're just grinding up. I'm not going to be looking short on this grind up just yet. And then by the time we ended up pulling back, I'm on my lunch break and just didn't align with the timing of the day. So got lulled into a sense of I don't see any trades that I like. Then it was a lunch break, and then the bear move had happened at that point in time, and that was pretty much it. So little red day, giving back some of the nice green from the past few days, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. But the takeaway for me is, again, that I could have had that clarity on the open and been right in it right away if looking for profit taking on the financial sector gap up open. And I'm wondering, thinking back in hindsight, did I think that there was going to be a little bit of a short squeeze or what? Not sure, but definitely a missed opportunity for me. So we're going to be watching for the hourly lower highs, financial sector and crypto names tomorrow. We'll see what the pre-market setup is. So I appreciate you watching and have a great rest of your day.
Throughout the trading day, it's important for us to stay hydrated. Around the yard, I've got a couple of things that I use to spice up my water. There's no mint available just yet, but violets will do the trick.
Now we take some boiling water,